Hi, friends. How are you? Welcome to our weekly conversation called Ask Me Anything. This is your opportunity to ask questions. I show up every week and I have conversations around content, around marketing, around branding, basically what you want to know. I'm here to serve. I also have that like creepy affinity because I feel like people on the internet and I are actually friends in real life. And if I was sitting across from you at a coffee shop right now, I would be asking, what plans do you have for the weekend? Okay, I know I'm starting a little early. However, it's never too early to talk about weekend plans. Okay, speaking of weekend plans, we're going to get to that in a second. I literally want to hear from you. I want to know because I'm creepy. What are my weekend plans? Well, the conversation with my husband and business partner was that he said, we'll hang out by the pool on the weekend and then maybe that night I'm going to hang out with a couple guy friends. And he's like, but Jazz, you could stay home and you could read books in bed, your favorite pastime. I was like, we're going to have a conversation. So Friday night is date night. I would really like to keep Saturday date day. It's still out for debating. We'll see. Let's dive into your questions. Susan asked, I get some engagement related to my post, but nothing related to questions about what I do. So I understand that not all engagement is equal. We really want people asking us more about what we do and what our business does. But first things first, y'all, let's clap up that engagement. Because Susan just said, I get people talking back to me on some posts, but not others. Number one, Susan, you are so ahead of the curve. So let's just have a moment of gratitude and say, I am very thankful for that. Then after we express gratitude for what we have, now you might be watching and be like, oh, well, no one's engaging in my post. Are you getting at least one like? If you're getting a like, if you're getting a few likes, you're already moving the needle forward. So let's appreciate the engagement that we are getting instead of complaining for what not is there. All right, so my question to you, if we get really practical, is what call to action are you using? If you've been around the block a while, you'll hear me often say a CTA. What do you want somebody to do? So if you are asking a question with hopes that people are going to respond, you have to understand that not all questions are created equal. If I said, pick a number 1 through 10, the brain immediately says, there's only 10 options. I'm higher likelihood of answering. If I ask you, what are you doing this weekend? Ooh, that's a little bit more of a commitment because you probably have to say a few words strung together. Going out with friends, staying home and working, building my website. Ooh, okay, that's like the more work people have to do to answer the question, the least likely they are to answer it. So if I were to say, what's your biggest fear and worry when it comes to making your business plan for 2022? You might be thinking, oh, this is just too long. I'm not going to spend the time it takes to respond. So the question I have is, what kind of CTAs are you having? And furthermore, before you have people respond to any questions in general, I always believe it's best to model the questions you want to receive. So it's very common for me to be posting questions on my stories that teach people the types of questions they should be asking me. So I go out of my way to not really talk about parenting advice. I don't really answer how I'm working or how things are going with me as a parent who is also an entrepreneur. Why? I don't really want to get in that. I don't want to position myself as a thought leader. I know that I'm still learning the ropes. I don't have much to talk about it, so I'm not really going to answer those types of questions. I will answer questions that foster more of the same type of questions that I want in the future. So, Amanda asked in real time, how do you pick content to run as ads for video views? Oh, I love this question. It will be very common that I will use a piece of native content. Like for instance, Where this live video is first dwelling is on Facebook. I'm going live on Facebook, and then what I can do is based on engagement. There are some times where I'll go live and teach a video in real time, and it just doesn't do well. For some reason, people aren't interested in the topics, maybe don't like anything. And then sometimes I go live and it gets a really great pop of momentum. People are liking and leaving comments. That is a clean indication to me that of the people who saw it live, if more people saw it, they would have a very similar sentiment. That is a very good idea for things that I should be promoting. If, for instance, I create a very short piece of micro content that's funny, it's quick, and getting a lot of people to engage, that is a clear indication that I should be running it for ads. Now, when it comes to an ad strategy, there are two types of objectives: building brand and marketing. If I am going to be promoting a post and I don't have a clean CTA, like go and sign up, go and buy, go and subscribe, that's going to be more of like a clean, like marketing vehicle to sales. That ad needs to be very clear. What is the problem? What is the solution? And giving somebody a very clean distinction of this is how you solve the issue that you're having by way of a transaction. That's a very powerful ad. I have run those ads in the past. By and large, I'm running brand building ads. I want people to know, like, and trust me. Will I be paying for ads just so that people can see my content, experience it, learn, feel empowered, feel educated, want to take action? Yes, I will absolutely run ads just for that. Because far before anybody ever decides to invest in my business, they need to know me as a person. They need to trust me as a person, and they need to see me with frequency and consistency. So we often let the market test our organic content, and then we determine what we want to turn into ads based on engagement. Great question. Y'all are coming in hot today. Let's move into this question from Karina. I create home and office decor and have 3 ideal clients. How can I talk to all 3 of them without having a messy account? Okay, Karina, let's talk about this. I know that people teach it different. I am pretty hard-nosed around saying and believing that it is best for your business. I know that you cater to 3 clients, but I believe it is best for you to create content that speaks to 1. I believe it is so much stronger for any business. I don't care what it is you sell. I don't care who you are. I don't know where in the world you are. If you have a big business or a small business, I believe across the board, it is better to create content that speaks directly to 1 person. And just like you, Karina, social curator, we know that we attract a multitude of people. But I am going to tell you to narrow it down, because when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. You're concerned about your account being messy, and it's true that you could happen. But beyond the messiness, I want you to focus on the message. I am the CEO of Social Curator. I know that not all of our users are the same person. I can also tell you, Karina, that we attract 3 types of people. And we've given these 3 types of people a name. We've given them a name. We have starting Sia. This is a person who's just starting in their business and they're trying to get their feet underneath them for social media. We have elevating Elle. Elle already has a business and she wants to take her business to the next level using social media marketing. And we have branded Blair. This is somebody who has a small team, who is already pretty significant on social media, knowing that significant in their presence and significant in their message, and they want to know how to extend their brand. We attract all 3 of these, and you want to know what? We really want to only create content for Elle. The vast majority of the people we want to speak to is this person, somebody who has a business, a tiny little team, and wants to up-level their business, scale their business. We want people getting into past the 100,000, 200,000 mark. Now, do we know that we attract Sia, Elle, and Blair? Yes, but we are choosing to create and speak to Elle. Why? Because it is so important for us to get specific and get specific with things like, y'all, I just told you that our multitude of customers have names. They have ages. We want to know where they live, what location. Are they married? What do they do on the weekends? What are their social habits? We want to know these things. But I'm going to come out and tell you, the more specific that we got with L, the more we started attracting the people we wanted to work with. Are we attracting branded Blairs and starting C as 2? Yes, but the vast majority of our marketing is going to speak to one person. Why? Because the clearer we get when it speaks to one person, the better off we're going to be as we scale our business. Okay. Sylvia asked, it's pretty popular around here for small businesses to use logos for their photo. I've heard you say that it should be your face, even in the service industry. Sylvia, I want to be very clear, very, very, very clear. I know it's powerful for businesses to use their logo. I don't think it's right or wrong. Please, please, please. But if you're asking me my opinion, I believe that faces work better than logos. Why? I am not speaking as a founder or a CEO. I'm not speaking as a business owner. I'm speaking as a consumer. Just yesterday, I was on Clubhouse and I was chatting with people and I debated bringing somebody up to the stage because it was a logo and not a face. I was like, is this going to be a bot? Is this going to be a spammer? Are they going to come on Clubhouse and just start pitching their product? It's so crazy how we look at somebody and can immediately contextualize them. Think of any business that you would want to work with. Would you be more or less inclined to work with somebody who shows their face or a logo? I'm telling you, if I wanted to buy clothes from a boutique owner, I would like to see their face more than I would like to see the logo. If I was hiring a babysitter, I would want to see their face and not a logo. If I was hiring a trash collector, I would like to see their face and not their logo. Now here's the thing, I'm not everybody. Maybe I'm actually so interested. I'm so interested right now. Can you leave a comment when you are on social media and there's a new account or you're checking out a business? Do you prefer to see a logo? And if you prefer to see a logo, write logo. And if you prefer to see a face or a person, write face. Logo or face. Courtney, can you let me know like how it's voting? Because maybe I'm one of the rare people. Maybe everybody likes logos and feels like, oh, I'm working with a professional business because they have a logo. If that's the case, I want to be wrong. I'm just saying, I call it how I see it. There is not a right or wrong. You get to make a decision. I'm just saying from a consumer's perspective, like me as a consumer, I like to know who I'm working with, but Courtney's gonna keep me posted. Bethany asked, I keep showing up consistently to my audience, but I'm not attracting people outside of my circle. Is getting in the DMs the next best strategy? No, Bethany, it is the best strategy. It's not the next best, it's the best. Direct messages, y'all. Okay, I'm just gonna be real. I never thought I was gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it because I don't care. It's my truth and I want people to know. I respond to Instagram direct messages to the best of my ability. But over the past couple of days, actually, as of yesterday, I am responding at least once every 24 hours. Well, yesterday was a very crazy work day. I was not able to tap into my DMs. I tapped in at 6 a.m. and then the rest of the day I just couldn't. So then this morning, again, at 6 a.m., I go into the gym and I'm like, I'm just gonna be on the elliptical trainer, and with my hands, I'm gonna be responding to the DM, but my body's gonna be working out. I was on the elliptical for 58 minutes to catch up with DMs this morning, and I didn't catch up with them all. My glutes, there's a good chance I'm not gonna walk until Sunday. I'm just saying. But I did that because I don't think that direct messages are the next best thing. I think direct messages are the thing. I get to connect with people in real time. People get to know, like, and trust me. I get to talk specifically to them. I get to connect with them. I just get to say, hey, thanks. I see what you're doing. I get to know people on a better level. They get to trust me. And when people trust me, they show up. up for me and my business. And guess what? When people trust you, they will show up for you and your business. And here's a little bit of an update. So Sylvia, you can tell anybody who disagreed, point them to this video, because all the comments, it's a face by a landslide. By a landslide. Now, there's not a right or wrong. I'm just saying, and all of the people in the chat be preaching and saying they want to see people's faces. Okay, let's get into another one of our questions. This is from Harriet. Can you negatively affect your Instagram page by using the same hashtags? Okay, can you negatively impact it? The answer is, it's uncertain. It's uncertain, but I would venture to say no. I don't think it's going to negatively impact, but I can sure with certainty say it won't positively impact. It will not positively impact. Why? Because Instagram, more than anything, and Facebook, and any platform that uses an algorithm, the algorithm wants to deliver relevant content. Relevant content. If you're using the same 30 hashtags for every post, it's a clear indication that you're not really paying attention to the content that you want people to get discovered. Sorry, I know that's a little rough around the edges. It's just facts. You want to keep your hashtags around what the heck you're posting, because the more relevant your hashtags are to the post, the higher likely, number one, it's going to get discovered, and then number two, it's going to be engaged with. Because just because you're like, oh, these are my 30 and I know I'm going to get discovered, if your photo is not in alignment to the hashtag, good luck trying to get somebody to come across your profile. Good luck. It's just facts. The goal for us is to keep your hashtags aligned to the content and to your business. So it's not enough for me to say, oh, it must be in alignment, because you're like, what does that mean, bro? Give me some actual tactical things. Fine. If you get up to 30 hashtags, friends, please make sure that you have searchable hashtags. What do you think your dream customer is searching for? Geographic hashtags. This is state. This is city. Things of that nature to get discovered locally, or where you want to have your clients come from. Location. Things about, like, this is where like venues. This is where like malls. These are parks. These are beaches. These are theme parks. Something. This is like a Google building. This is a university, right? So geographic, state, city, county, location, specific places that you think your dream customer would be at or searching for that they could stumble upon your content. Industry related. Are you a hairstylist? Are you a beauty professional? Are you a photographer? Use some hashtags will help you get located by peers. And lastly, hashtags of things that are in the photo. You could hashtag things that are in your photo if people are searching for, let's just say, cute coffee mugs, or they're searching for a little black dress, or they're searching for iPhone 11, whatever the case may be. It is okay and definitely advisable for you to mix up hashtags. So number one, you get discovered in different ways. And number two, that the content you're posting looks relevant to the hashtag. That is what makes hashtags work. People are like, oh, hashtags aren't working for me. Probably are. The question is, are you working for your hashtags? Because if you don't work for hashtags, hashtags will not work for you. That's just it. Okay, so Jacqueline says, just starting out, should I follow all my ideal customers or just comment on their post or stories to test engagement? Jacqueline, no right answer. You get to determine what is best for you. Truly, I promise you, if you really want to follow your ideal clients because you're looking at it as like market research, or perhaps you just want to stay top of mind, or perhaps you really want to know more about their lives so that you could speak clearly and truly to their pressure points, then maybe the answer is yes for you. Maybe people are like life coaches and they only want to work with like 10 or 15 clients a year. And if they follow, let's say 50 to 60 people that they think that they can build those deep personal connections and they'll get clients that way, and that works for them. Awesome. If you are trying to build, let's say, an app or a massive platform and you dream about having 10,000 people on it, well, would it make sense for you to follow like 10,000 or 20,000 people? Maybe not. It just depends on your ambitions, aspirations, and your business. But again, no right or wrong. I believe you should follow who you want to follow and what will empower your business. The choice is entirely yours. Gary asked, can you go back in old post and add hashtags? Yes, Gary, you can. They're not going to be as effective. Because remember, when you go, like let's say you go to Instagram and you search for a hashtag, Instagram shows you two things, like the most popular, like the most relevant are at the top. And then as you scroll, it will get to most recent. So if you're adding hashtags to a post, let's say from last month, well, it's definitely not recent. It will likely not be most popular or relevant. Why? Because it's old. So not very many people are engaging with it. How does Instagram determine what is like the most popular, the most relevant? Engagement. So you could, I just don't think it will move the needle very much. The idea would be for you to focus on what you're doing right now and your future efforts. Speaking of focusing now on your behaviors for future efforts, I just want to take a second and speak from my soul. I know that every week I come on and I make videos and I have content, but like truly part of the reason that I think what makes me different and what makes you want to even watch this video is that we get tired. We get tired of hearing more things to do. We get tired of like, here's another hack and here's another trick and oh, just take these 5 steps to save 10 minutes a day. And you're like, 10 minutes? I don't have 10 minutes to watch this 4-minute video. Do you feel like that? I understand that oftentimes when we come here and we talk about building a business, the last thing we want to hear is more things for us to do. I am a transgressor, right? Every week I'm like, do this and do that. And sometimes you're like, I can't even do that right now. So I want to speak to the I'm tired and I have so much going on in my head. I'm going to speak to you right now. And this is me without notes. I'm just showing up until I blow up. If you have 2 minutes today and you have 2 minutes tomorrow, you have 4 minutes to do something. I don't believe in the amount. I believe in the quality. I don't think that you need to be responding to direct messages for 58 minutes in a day. I don't. I do believe, however, that you need to make a little bit of time to get the results that you want. I do not know how you spend your minutes or your hours in your day. I do know that there's a high likelihood that you have a job that pays your bills and you're trying to build something else in addition. You're trying to look for either more revenue or diverse revenue. I also probably know, just based on analytics, that there's a good chance that the vast majority of people who are watching this are in a relationship, a pretty committed relationship that takes time and energy. I also know, just statistically and analytically, that the majority, around 60% of the people who are watching, have children. So if you are having a job that pays your bills and you're trying to either find more revenue or scalable revenue, if you're in a committed relationship and or if you have children, chances are you feel like you ain't got your head screwed on straight. That is just real talk. And so you have the decision to say, my head's not screwed on straight, I can't do everything I want. So then you just throw your hands up and say, well, I really hope and wish it happens. Oh, you see, this weekend, I'm gonna have a block of 1 hour to work on this thing. And if you do, that's amazing, congratulations. But I will tell you that oftentimes that 1 hour that many business owners are saving over the weekend gets diminished to be about 27 minutes once they get settled and once they stop scrolling social and once the baby stops knocking on the door. So I believe that a little bit of time every day as a discipline is going to be the thing that moves the needle. I do not think that you need 58 minutes every single day. If you have it, God bless you, I clap you up. But I do believe that finding tiny micro pieces of time to help elevate you. And when people say, I don't have time, if people say, I don't have time, if you say, I don't have time, I'm going to invite you to actually look at that and say, it's a belief. I believe I don't have time. I think you could also believe, what could I look at and see how I can change where I spend my time? What if it means instead of taking a 12-minute shower, I take a 10-minute shower? What does it mean if I were to brew coffee the night before and drink cold coffee in the next morning, like iced coffee the next morning? What would it look like for me to plan my outfit the day before and have it ready so the next day I don't spend 11 minutes in my closet trying to find something to wear? I actually spend 2 minutes getting dressed. What does it mean for me to change the behaviors to get what I want? These are conversations that many of us won't have because it holds a mirror to us having to make changes as humans, not about business. I am not talking about your 6 or 7 figure business. I'm not talking about your marketing. I'm not talking about your branding, at least not today. Today I'm having a real talk for you to say, what is the belief in your mind that is stopping you from doing what you want to do? I don't have time. Fine. But what would it look like for you to change the belief of, is there a way for me to think about how I'm spending my time? Can I find 5, 6, 7 minutes in my day to have uninterrupted focus time on the thing that I'm doing? I don't know, friend, but if you continue to tell yourself you don't have time, that will then become a fact. If you ask yourself, am I spending my time the way that I should? Now we're having a different conversation. So every week I go live and I'm going to invite you. What would it look like at the point in which you watch this video? Now live on Facebook, later on Facebook, perhaps you're watching via YouTube, perhaps you're watching as I repurpose this possibly on LinkedIn and you happen to see this and you're wondering what the heck is going on. What would it look like between now and the next time you see a piece of my content for you to say, I thought seriously about the time that I spend. I thought seriously about where I'm investing it. I thought seriously about planning my day a little bit better to pick up pockets of time that would transform the way that I work. Friends, I am just inviting you to change the belief system, because if we open ourselves to possibility, we close ourselves off from facts that may or may not be true. These are facts you just made up your mind. I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Okay? Could you make time? Could you restructure? Could you think differently? I don't know the answer. Only you do. But I'm going to invite you to think about it for a week. Next week, I will pick up the conversation where we left off today, and I'm going to ask you, did you rethink the way you are spending time? Did you by any chance pick up an extra 4 or 5 minutes a day? Because if you picked up 5 minutes a day just on weekdays, that's an extra 25 minutes of work a week. Friend, 25 minutes a week extra? Market your business, build your brand. That's how you move things, baby. I will check in with you next week. I hope you have a great and beautiful, blessed day. Much love, respect, and gratitude.